Okay, here we go. Let's watch this recap.
In 1995, my grandfather died in Conwell Springs, my hometown. I returned for the funeral after being away since childhood.
Oh.
I learned that my grandpa had been investigating strange occurrences surrounding a mysterious presence in the forest. However,
Oh no!
I learned that my grandpa had been investigating strange occurrences surrounding a mysterious presence in the forest. However, something happened to him in the woods, putting him in a vegetative state for over a decade. To solve this mystery, I teamed up with Eileen Summers, my college roommate.
Eileen!
A Christian nerd and a biker badass. It was a match made in heaven. A local church turned out to harbor a secret cult worshiping the malevolence in the woods, referring to it as the Old God. An endangered hallucinogenic flower, the red scythe, was somehow connected to the Old God's power. As we came closer to the truth, a servant of the Old God made himself known in dreams and visions, the Crimson One, a scheming trickster. Things came to a head when the priest of the corrupt church, Isaac Price, abducted Eileen, intending to offer her to the Old God. I managed to track them down and have Isaac thrown in jail, but Eileen was in a catatonic state and was about to suffer the same fate as my grandfather. I continued alone and found my way into a great field of red scythes in the depths of the forest. Greeted by the Crimson One, I descended into the Old God's bizarre realm, a place straddling the line between the physical and the otherworldly.
We have a dungeon! Exclamation point join!
The powers of that place tried to break me. My past trauma was manifested and turned against me, including my shadow, an evil doppelganger. I defeated these foes and emerged back into the real world. As I left Conwell Woods, I set the flowers ablaze to eradicate the evil at its root. In my absence, Isaac Price took the coward's way out in his jail cell. When I returned, Eileen had awoken. She was safe. It was time for us both to go back home.
All right, that's the recap. Here we go. This game is intended for mature audiences and contains graphic depictions of horror, explicit violence, suicide, and other disturbing imagery. Viewer discretion is advised. You've been warned. May 20th, 1998, day 1.
We're closed. For fuck's sake.
Oh, she's gonna get up. Okay.
Hey, kid.
Oh, Lucas.
Gee, what happened to you? Looks like somebody's been through the ringer.
The ringer.
You should mind your own business, old man, before I bring up your ex-wife.
Hey now, I'm just looking out for a former student of mine. You're always my business.
Oh, I bet I am. That's the only way a has-been like you could ever stay relevant.
Ha! Yeah, that must be it. Now, you can invite me in and just let me stand here like an asshole.
Fine, come in then. You want some coffee?
Yeah, I got enough, old sis, thank you very much. That brew you make is rancid.
Oh, I did that on purpose. I wanted to do detective work, not dumb chores like some airbrained secretary.
Feigning incompetence, huh? Clever move.
I guess so. I just wish that shrewdness of mine could make me some money.
There's my segue. Did you hear the news on the Soothsayer?
I never took you for a sucker, Lucas. This is Cassidy. There's no way that reward is legit.
You're wrong. Mayor Adams is different. He's the real deal.
And you know this how exactly?
Well, because it just so happens that I was hired to find dirt on the guy. I got nada. Zip. He's a total Boy Scout.
Whatever. We're still talking about a serial killer. Do I look suicidal to you?
Kinda. You passed out at noon, stinking of booze, and that eviction notice hanging over your head isn't doing you any favors.
That's none of your concern. I'm handling it. I just need a goddamn case. A normal case. Free of homicidal maniacs.
Don't know what to tell you, kid. Things are looking kinda dry on that front, you dig?
Oh, God. Please don't try to sound hip, Lucas. Your Dick Tracy imitation is cringeworthy enough.
There is a kitty over here looking out the window.
I suppose you could always pawn off that bike of yours. Buy you another month or two.
That's right. Good kitty.
Tell him, Mildred. Lose the Catmobile? I'd rather chop off my left tit.
I may be a has-been, but I'm fairly sure that self-mutilation won't do you much good. A couple $100K, on the other hand.
I love money just as much as the next girl, but, I mean, this isn't just a long shot. It's about as likely as Mildred turning vegan and taking up juggling.
Come on, one more case, for old time's sake. 50-50 split. How could anyone beat my rugged charm and your youthful vigor?
Why all detective games mention Dick Tracy? What is that from? Dick Tracy was like the old school detective PI type guy. I think books and show? Book, show, movie? I don't know.
Lucas, we both know you're about as charming as a clown at a funeral. And the last time I saw my vigor was 3 tequila bottles ago.
Comic books and movie. Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Rudy. We have a dungeon! Exclamation point join.
All right. I know what I'm beating. I'll drop it.
Look, thanks for the tip. I might actually take a shot at that bounty, but you need to accept that we're not a team anymore. We had a good run, but I have my own thing going. Look, see? My name is on the frosted glass and everything.
I can respect that. You're not allergic to a little quid pro quo from time to time, though, are you?
Now, that I can do. That's how the world works anyway. It's all just an endless circle jerk of quid pro fucking quo.
I don't quite see things that way, but my door is always open if you'd like to discuss the case.
Sure. May the best woman win.
You telling me I'd look good in a dress? Later, kid.
Bye, Lucas.
Booby late. The Soothsayer.
Well, it's not like I have anything better to do. I should have information on the Soothsayer somewhere in this room.
Okay. Tasks updated.
I should look around the office for information about the Soothsayer.
Yes, that's what we're doing. Okay. We have lockpicks, we have a Zippo lighter, we have a stun gun, and we have our notebook.
Various reference books and technical manuals. My biggest fan, as depressing as that is. An article in the Chicago Tribune about the Whitmore affair. My big breakthrough case last year.
Jessica Jones vibes,
I've
yes.
been meaning to get it framed, but I've been too busy with important things. You know, like drinking alone. Just outdated casework. Can't bring myself to take them down. My private investigator's license issued last year. I was worried how Lucas would react, so I applied for it behind his back. I couldn't have been more wrong, though. That old fart has been nothing but supportive since then. It's a plastic laminator. a machine used to encase paper and other thin objects in transparent plastic. I mainly use it for fake IDs. That cranky drawer is stuck good. I know Eileen had some magic trick to get it open. Too bad she's not around.
Okay.
I should grab this in case I need to snap some shots.
Look at the ooh-woo face on her butt. Ooh-woo?
The yellow pages. Handy for looking up people and businesses.
Ooh-woo.
No, you will.
Thankfully, I don't need to make any calls right now. Every time I pick that thing up, I pray there's still a dial tone. The city we're in, unfortunately.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe there's something about the killings in these papers.
I have the Princess Peach dress too.
All right. I found a few interesting articles about the most recent murder.
Okay.
What bills? Never saw those. Nope, no siree.
Felt. Okay, can we pet the kitty, please?
Who's the best fluff ball?
We can pet the kitty! That's a big cat. Look at it in, like, comparison to her. It's like her upper body and head. We can just keep petting the kitty. This is the game now. Anyone still owns a Yellow Pages? Haven't seen one of those books in forever. I feel like we get one every year. Gets dropped off on the porch randomly. Meow.
Couldn't agree more. Mildred's abode.
David Tennant was great in Jessica Jones. He was so terrifying. Yes. Another dungeon. Okay. To the living area. Let's look at these articles. It says Deborah on it. Soothsayer targets best-selling author Cassidy's serial killer hits high-profile victim. At age 49, the one and only Deborah Sinclair was tragically taken from us. She was stabbed to death on May 8th in her iconic cabin. The chilling signature mirror left on the scene made it clear that she had become yet another Soothsayer victim. We are told by sources in the Cassidy Police Department that there was no sign of a break-in, and no items of value were stolen. The cause of death came as no surprise: acute blood loss caused by sharp force trauma. The circumstances surrounding this crime are strikingly similar to the original casualty of the Soothsayer, Rose Taylor, also a middle-aged woman stabbed to death in her home. This makes 5 victims in 3 months, and the lack of results on the case is starting to anger the citizens of Cassidy. Mayor Adams gave the following statement on May 11th. I'll be the first to admit that I hope to see swifter progress concerning these killings. We plan to evaluate more radical measures in the coming weeks. The chief of police had no comment. Let's see what else is going on. Dock strike continues. City dock remains silent as workers' strike enters week 3. Talks between union leaders and management have stalled, causing significant disruptions to trade on the Mississippi. 24-hour diner. Renowned muralist Julio Rivera's latest masterpiece finally adorns the city center, weaving a visual narrative of resilience, aspiration, and hope. The mine closed. Pest control. Science fair. Oh, there's more to the... Okay, here we go. This is her. The famous writer's life has met an abrupt end. We are devastated to report that the fifth victim of the Soothsayer was none other than acclaimed author Deborah Sinclair, one of the most recognized faces of Cassidy. Loyal readers of Sinclair may realize that the previous victim, Jane Doe, was slain on the publication anniversary of Storm Chaser, one of Sinclair's classic novels. A simple coincidence, or do these murders have a deeper connection to the author? The murder occurred in Sinclair's famous writer's retreat near the border of the national park. The National Park Service was first on the site and is currently in control of the crime scene. As the NPS lacks the necessary training and resources to conduct murder investigations, we should expect that the crime scene will soon be handed over to the Soothsayer Task Force at the KPD. For now, the body has been transported to a city morgue, awaiting clearance for a pathological examination. Chief Ranger Samuel Walker had the following comment. We are still establishing all of the facts surrounding this crime. Please be patient. We all want to do right by Deborah. Deborah Sinclair was a longtime friend of the Gazette and led a prolific life with more than 30 novels published during her lifetime. On this sad day, we mourn the loss of a cultural icon, and we pray that her death will be the last at the hands of the vile Soothsayer. Okay. A massive West Side power outage last night raises questions about Cassidy's aging electrical infrastructure and the urgent need for modernization and investment. Historic statue vandalized. The iconic statue of the Founders Square was defaced last night with anarchist propaganda sprayed across its base. Authorities are investigating a worrying link to the ever-growing sprawl, Cassidy's equivalent of Los Angeles' infamous Skid Row. Okay.
All right, I think that's everything I've got on Deborah in here.
The Pickle Knights! Oh, exclamation point join! Get in there. Expected total playtime 6 hours? Nah, 6 hours of petting
When
that
I'm ready
kitty.
to leave, I
That's
should be
right.
able to learn more about the other victims at the library.
Okay. I want to look in the living area. Ooh.
Useful things for when the Catmobile needs a tune-up. Extra helmets. Eileen used to wear one of them back when things were different.
What happened with Eileen?
Every biker worth her salt has got a box like this somewhere.
Oops, I clicked on the same thing twice.
Useful thing. I wish, but if I don't shape up and get some work done, I'm gonna end up sleeping somewhere way less comfy. Yeah, I figured the room needed some extra groove.
The lava lamp.
Oh, cryptic chaos. Can't wait till they're back in town.
Who's Eileen? Eileen is, I think kind of becomes her best friend in the first one.
Manhunt. I prefer their old material, but their latest album wasn't half bad. Maybe later. The red one goes better with this set. I shouldn't need to bring that. There's storage on the bike if I need it. I better put that away later, for Mildred's sake. That little rascal has proven that yes, cats can get drunk.
Oh no.
How's it hanging, Lampy?
We can look outside.
Still same old Cassidy. City of Gleam. It's a photo I took of the West End Bridge here in the city back in the day.
Oh, it was her college roommate, that's right.
Teenage Kathy had one of those artsy photographer phases. I better not open that. Wouldn't want the mold to spread.
Oh, in the fridge?
No time to do the stupid dishes. I've got a case to solve.
Listen, we're clicking on everything.
Ugh, don't make me hurl. I'm way too hungover for coffee. Keeps me in perfect timing. Uh-oh. That's quite a tequila face you got there, Kathy.
She did say the cat got drunk, yes.
Eileen and me. Before Rain investigation started going downhill. We worked great together, didn't we? I wish things didn't have to go the way they did.
What happened?
Nah, I'll live with my current face.
Okay, I think that's everything except this.
Nah, no fun alone and sober. My walk-in closet. It's a real mess in there. I better not open the door or I'd risk spilling all sorts of shit out here.
Okay, I think that's everything. I guess we leave to the library, right? She said that's where we can find more information on the other victims. Look how cool we are! What a badass.
Nah, I got one at home. That an actual avocado tree? Sure looks the part.
A real tree?
A plaque with some prominent donors. Interestingly, Deborah Sinclair is listed here.
Clint!
For 4 years of friendship.
Oh my goodness, thank you so much! 48 months! Can we get some hype for Clint, please? Friendship! Clint, we have to figure out a night to play Raft together.
So apparently if there's a fire, I'm supposed to run through those gigantic double doors 10 feet away. Phew, I'm saved. Ugh, plenty of bad memories from this place. Being forced here for school was the worst. The old librarian lady was the meanest hag you could imagine, and she had it out for me from the start.
Raft is such a good game. I've never played it. I'm terrified of the ocean and sharks, so... we'll see how that goes. I'm supposed to play with Unruly and Clint, though,
Hi,
at some
I
point.
need some help, please.
Of course. How can I be of assistance?
What do you know about Deborah Sinclair?
Quite a bit. Do you have a more specific line of inquiry?
What do you know about the murder? What kind of books did Deborah write? Was Deborah a popular author? What do you know about Deborah's private life? Oh man, can we ask all of them, or is he gonna let me ask one and then be like, I've had enough. Be gone. Dungeon! I have 0 kids and minimal responsibilities. My schedule is quite clear. Okay. I think Unruly's got some stuff going on right now. Not to be like cryptic, but like I also don't want to like spill her business, you know? Let's see. Let's ask about the books.
What kind of books did Deborah write?
Is Deborah and Deborah the variation of the same name? I think it can be.
She dabbled in many different genres over the years, but her main bulk of work could probably be defined as horror, mystery, or a combination of the two. Afflicted, Dead Ends Meet, and the Jenny Payne trilogy are some of her most well-known titles.
Huh, okay. Was she working on a new book when she died?
I believe so, yes. But I don't have any details to share.
What do you know about the murder?
I believe she was killed at her writer's retreat, stabbed to death. The police say the MO was similar to the other victims, with the shattered mirror and all that.
Where's this writer's retreat located exactly?
There's an area called Bear Creek, just on the border of the national park. Sinclair owned a small cabin there.
All right, got it. That's a decent drive, so I think I'll head out there tomorrow.
New location added. Okay. Was Deborah a popular author?
Was Deborah a popular author?
Grounded 2 is coming late next month. I'll be engulfed by that. Grounded 2. I don't think I know what that is. Is that when you're like, it's like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids? And you're like super tiny and like there's big ants and stuff like that? Is that Grounded? I bought a Steam Deck. Let's go. I can now raft on the go as well. That's awesome.
Oh, yes. Even before her death. Afterwards, her popularity has reached astronomical levels.
I can imagine. Borrowing one of her books now is out of the question, right?
Correct. 6 months wait minimum.
Felt.
Yeah, I figured.
I put a book on hold called Something in the Walls, and I was like number 189 in line when I put it on hold. I think I'm still like 140 something. It's been a long wait.
What do you know about Deborah's private life?
She had quite an interesting life. Adopted as a child, and her adoptive father, Sebastian Willis Sinclair, was an accomplished author in his own right.
Super tiny, open world survival craft. Very fun. Highly recommend Grounded. Interesting. Okay.
Deborah's birth mother was a young homeless woman, and her father was a Native American. Deborah spent much of her life trying to track down her biological father, unsuccessfully. Perhaps in some part due to her roots, Deborah's books have often contained subject matter inspired by Native American religion. She was childless and unmarried when she passed away. Rumors say she was gay, but God knows tabloids are quick to jump to conclusions. I don't think she ever clarified that matter to the public. If you are curious to learn more, I would highly recommend her acclaimed autobiography, Unbound.
Oh, I might check that out. Thanks for the information.
We got a dungeon. It's a Pokemon dungeon. Okay, we asked all the questions. Can we ask him?
I'm looking to find some information on the Soothsayer.
Ah, quite a few people have taken an interest in that case lately.
That's so. Well, I'm not scared of a little competition. So, you got anything for me?
Yes, I would direct you to the microfilm viewer at the end of the hall. We have full scans of all of the major newspapers dating all the way back to the 50s.
Perfect. I should be able to browse those for some articles about the murders.
Indeed. If I may ask, what is your own interest in the case?
You probably heard there's a reward, right? I'm a PI, and money is tight, so...
I see. I suppose we each have our own ways to make a living.
Excuse me? That felt really judgy, didn't it? He's like, I see.
Thanks. I'll come back if I have more questions.
All right.
Very well. Good luck.
A workstation for the librarian. If I need to search for books, I could use the computer down the hall. You can rent one of
It's
those if you
him.
lack a fixed address.
He's the killer.
Let's hope things don't come to that. A bunch of magazines. Mostly celebrity gossip, it looks like. If I need a book, I should use the computer.
Okay, I'm just clicking on everything.
Some local hero from the Civil War, I think? Well, either that or Beethoven. That guy gets around.
Conan Exiles. I've heard a lot of people like that game. Deborah... Oh no. What was her name? I already forgot. Hold on. Sinclair? Sinclair, yeah. Dune seems to be getting good reviews. I'm sure I'll try it. Real talk, if you don't know who the killer is, would you go around saying you're a detective looking into the killer? Maybe? Let's see, we got afflicted. Do we read what all the books are about? Dead Ends Meet. Because, like, surely if the people were being killed by the themes of her books, then they would have known, like, I feel like the police would have gotten that at some point, right? Jenny Payne 1, 2, 3, Storm Chaser, Thorns of the Wild, Unbound. Like, should I read these, or is that too much? That's what we want, is the autobiography. Status unavailable.
Anything I print should appear here. Okay, let's see here. It would take ages to look through all the microfilms since the killings began, so maybe I can figure out on what date the murder prior to Deborah's occurred. Hopefully I can deduce the date of the previous murder from the articles I picked up at the office. When I have a good date written down, I can view the corresponding microfilm and look for useful information. All right, I've got a date written down. I can use that to find the corresponding microfilm.
I still have about 8 games bought, but unplayed on the desktop. I need to slow down and stop being a game hoarder. I have, we won't talk about it. We won't talk about how many games I have.
I can't waste time by checking every date. I should look for the date of the previous murder in the sequence before I browse the microfilms.
How do I do that?
It's one of those advanced...
By looking at this? She was stabbed to death on May 8th. Okay, the original casualty of the Soothsayer, Rose Taylor, also a middle-aged woman stabbed to death in her home. But it doesn't say... This makes 5 victims in 3 months? Okay. So, May 8th was when Deborah was killed. So we could go back to what, February? Because here's May 8th, right? I said in 3 months, so February has to have been like I don't know if this date is any good, but...
No.
But how would I figure it out? I don't understand how I'm supposed to figure it out. Without looking at the articles? That she won't look at until I have a date.
Microfilms can... I should try to figure out when the previous murder happened and then search the microfilm starting...
Yeah, but...
I should be able to learn more about the Soothsayer at the library.
That's very helpful. That's very helpful indeed. Oh gosh. Soothsayer. Yeah, I didn't think so. Allie! Oh my gosh, hi! How are you? 21 months, can we get some hype, please? I hope you've been well. Thank you, thank you. Okay. Oh no, wait. You doing all right? I'm glad. I'm also doing all right. Just started playing Kathy Rain 2. Trying to figure out... She was slain on the publication anniversary of Storm Chaser. Wait. Okay. Been sick but doing better now? Oh no, I'm glad you're doing better. Storm Chaser. Okay. We have a date. 4/25.
Yeah, this date should be good. I'll search through a week or so of microfilm, starting from the date I've written down. Hopefully I can find some useful information on the previous victim.
Hopefully you're feeling much better very soon.
Yes, there we go. I'll have these printed.
I love that we get to keep copies for ourselves.
All right, rinse and repeat. I should try to determine the previous microfilm date based on the information in these new pages. That way I can make my way back from article to article, victim to victim, until I get all the way to the first murder. Let's see here.
Soothsayer burns Jane Doe alive? Okay, hold on. Before I read this, I have to drink some water. Okay. The infamous Soothsayer has cranked up the heat on his killing spree as the latest victim, a young woman in her early 20s, was determined to have been brutally burned alive on Constance Hill. The death occurred on the night of April 25th. Due to the state of the remains, Jane Doe's identity has been difficult to ascertain. Despite indications of dental work on the corpse, there were no matching dental records anywhere in the city, leading police to believe that the woman was not a local. The lack of a struggle could mean that the victim was incapacitated, but the condition of the body gives little clarity on that matter. Picking a public site like this was a risky proposition for the Soothsayer, but he may have banked on the fact that distant witnesses would assume that the fire came from the nearby fire pit. Mayor Adams offered this comment: "As unpleasant as it is, I must ask you to be patient. Let Ed Cassidy Chief of Police Edgar Mitchell Brown and his team do their job. KPD has my full confidence in this matter, and City Hall stands vigilant to assist in any way we can. For our extensive coverage of the previous victim, Deacon Townsend, see issue 842. Oh, there he is. Edgar Mitchell Brown. The Soothsayer has claimed a fourth victim, an unidentified woman estimated to have been 18 years old. Her charred remains were found on the outskirts of Cassidy near the overlook of Constance Hill. The cause of death is yet to be determined. The Soothsayer victims do not seem to share any obvious similarities in terms of gender, age, occupation, or social class. And the killing methods, locations, and disposal of the bodies are all different. However, the killings have all occurred within the greater Cassidy area, all over a period of 3 months, which would indicate that the Soothsayer is somewhat local to the area. In related news, the Cassidy Chief of Police has recently announced that the investigation of these killings will be taken over by the newly created Soothsayer Task Force. Edgar Mitchell Brown said the following during a press conference on April 26th. As of May 1st, the so-called Soothsayer slayings will be investigated by a dedicated task force of 8 senior detectives handpicked from various divisions at the Cassidy Police Department. Rest assured that this elite group has every resource at their disposal. When asked whether or not the FBI would be involved, Mitchell Brown replied, "There is no federal jurisdiction in this case. I have no further comment. We'll take it." The Gazette has frequently criticized the Cassidy Police Department for their errors in the past, but credit where credit is due. This is a step in the right direction. Why is the killer called the Soothsayer? I'm not sure we know that yet. Okay. They mentioned Deacon.
I know where Constance Hill is, but that's a fair distance from the city. Better save it for tomorrow. For now, I'll put Jane Doe on hold and see what I can find about the previous murder victim.
I already forgot their name. Deacon Townsend, see issue 842.
Microfilms containing images of...
Wait, do I need a date? It says... How do I just look up
It's one of those
the issue? Is there a date for them? No. You do need a date. Okay. Dang, I don't have a date though.
We're still in May. It doesn't make...
My bad. What issue is this paper? 845. Okay. And it's a weekly paper? 845. We're looking for 842. This is April 29th. They're gonna make me math. April 29th. We go back 1, 2, 3 weeks?
Yes, this should be the right date.
Smart.
Let's see here.
I don't mind gentle guiding.
Okay,
like that.
let's have a look.
Because sometimes I'm just dumb. Okay. Issue 842. Soothsayer stages suicide of prolific deacon. Like deacon as in like the... Okay. Yeah, the religious title. We are sad to report that a third member of our community has been taken out by this so-called soothsayer who appears to be Cassidy's first serial killer. The victim's name was Benedict Townsend, age 51. Our sources say that this death occurred on April 3rd, and that Townsend was likely murdered in a staged suicide by hanging. Townsend served as a deacon at the King of Kings Catholic Church, at an old congregation dating back to the early 1900s. He was a beloved figure in the community, well known for his voluntary work. Reverend Hughes Winters, the pastor of the King of Kings, had the following to say: "My heart aches for Ben's soul and everything he had left to give to the world, but I take some comfort in the fact that he is with the Lord now. And for the person or persons who did this to my friend, know that there will be a reckoning. Murder is a sin most vile, and God sees all." The King of Kings remains open as the crime scene occurred in the adjacent rectory building. However, the rectory will remain under lock and key until properly consecrated. Okay. We got another dungeon. Soothsayer linked to 3 murders. Serial killer on the loose? Three killings in 2 months connected by foreboding signature. Deacon Benedict Townsend, age 51, was found dead early on April 4th in the rectory of the King of Kings Catholic Church. The cause of death was determined to be hanging by suicide, but suicide has been ruled out by the KPD. An anonymous police source had the following to say: "Somebody else was involved. The positioning of the body and other logistics don't add up if he was alone." This scenario is eerily similar to that of Eric Holloway. Bing! We have another name. The postman who met his demise on the ominous full moon night last month. Oh boy. His death was initially treated as a suicide, but later revised to homicide. Now the Gazette brings you the exclusive scoop. Both of these killings, as well as the brutal stabbing of Nurse Taylor back in February, are linked by an object left at the scene, a shattered obsidian mirror, colloquially referred to as a scrying mirror. These mirrors have been used since ancient times to see the future or communicate with the spirit world. Does the soothsayer responsible for these murders have a religious motive? Our source continues: "It's a signature. This killer is no hack. He hasn't left any other forensic evidence that can be traced back to him, so the mirror has to be deliberate." Townsend was a well-liked figure in the community, known for his charity work and a long-time member of the church. Cassidy, Chief of Police Edgar Mitchell. I don't know. Sometimes this font, I don't know. When I read it, like how it's like grayed out in some of the letters, it makes my eyes go wonk. Cassidy Chief of Police Edgar Mitchell Brown gave the following comment: "We are not classifying these homicides as serial offenses at this time, but trust that we have our finest on the case. We urge our readers to demand that Mitchell Brown recognizes that the citizens of Cassidy have been cursed with our first serial killer in recorded history. Okay, so wait. If we're trying to get a date from this, right? We have the name Eric Holloway. We also have the name Rose Taylor back in February. Okay, they mentioned the full moon last month, right? Who met his demise on the ominous full moon night last month. And on this calendar,
Okay, I'll make sure to look into that church later and maybe find the address. For now, let's move on to victim number 2.
Okay, so we were in April, right? So they said the last full moon, which... Are they considering this full? And this is the new moon?
Yes, this should be the right date. Let's see here.
Okay. Prominent suicide morphs into homicide. Initially reported as a suicide, the death of Eric Holloway on March 12th has been officially reclassified by KPD as a homicide. Since this public death occurred, multiple reliable witnesses have come forward claiming that the victim was pushed off the roof of the building at 4 Verdant Street. However, there are no detailed descriptions of the perpetrator, likely due to the limited illumination of the roof area at night. Holloway led a quiet and simple life, working as a mailman for the city, and is said to have been well liked by his peers. However, there are unverified reports of mental health problems related to the death of his fiancée last year. Police sources told us that there are links to the brutal motel stabbing of nurse Rose Taylor on Statehood Day. I guess we got a date, Statehood Day. But we're reluctant to share further details of an ongoing investigation. Oh my gosh. Exclamation point join! This much reading always gets my throat a little bit. Okay. Grim fall under the full moon. On Thursday, March 12th at roughly 8 p.m., a 32-year-old man leapt from the roof of a 4-story apartment building, at Verdant Street, instantly killing himself on the pavement below, making a grisly spectacle for neighbors and bystanders alike. Friends and neighbors claim that the victim had struggled with the death of his girlfriend, but no suicide note had been recovered. Events like this reiterate that mental health and grief counseling should be a national concern, with more resources available for vulnerable people in crisis. If you or anyone you know is having suicidal thoughts, you can reach the National Suicide Hotline at 555-922-922, available 24/7. Okay.
Eric's address isn't too far away, but I should learn all I can here before I visit any of the crime scenes. Coming up last, the very first victim of the Soothsayer.
Okay, they said Statehood Day?
Yes, this should be the right date. Let's see here.
Satanists responsible for motel slaughter? A brutal stabbing occurred at the Azure Sky Motel on February 5th, and our sources now say that there is an occult angle to the killing, with some sort of artifact left on the scene. The husband of the victim was briefly detained but released a day later. Law enforcement claims that he remains a person of interest, however, and confirmed that the cause of death was multiple stab wounds to the chest. Ouch. Motel murder mortifies management. On February 7th, Rose Amanda Taylor, age 47, was found dead by Robert Tippett, the owner of the Azure Sky Motel. Taylor had been stabbed to death by an unknown perpetrator. Blood everywhere, like a goddamn butcher room, Tippett says, wide-eyed, and continues to emphasize that this city is going to hell. You go ahead and print that. Neighbors reported hearing a commotion from the room, but that was apparently a regular occurrence, so no one went to investigate. Taylor is survived by her husband and 2 children who have declined a request to be interviewed. The husband was briefly detained but is no longer considered a suspect. If you have any information about the murder of Rose Taylor, please contact the Cassidy Police Department at 555-583-175. So, were they living in the motel? Why was she at the motel?
All right, that should be everything on the microfilms. I think I'll continue to focus on gathering information today and then head to each of the murder sites tomorrow.
Okay.
I think I'll look into that church next, the King of Kings. There was no mention of an address for it in the newspapers.
Oh, I could just... No, I can't. I was gonna say, I could just hold it down. Do you think he would tell me? I feel like the librarian might know addresses.
One more thing.
Yes?
Oh, we can ask about all of these things? Oh. Oh, no, I don't want to do that.
Do you know anything about the King of Kings Catholic Church?
I'm not familiar with that church, sorry.
What do you know about scrying mirrors?
Not much, unfortunately. They're not within my area of expertise.
Can't, like, direct me towards a book or something? Okay. I feel
Thanks.
like asking
I'll
him
come
is
back if I have more
pointless.
questions.
Very well. Good luck.
No thanks. Valid.
Okay, but I can't go to any of those places. We do have a phone book, right? So maybe we can look up information about the church that way?
Great. I've got the address to the church. I'll head over there tomorrow. I think it's time to see what I can find about the Azure Sky Motel. It's likely in this phone book here.
Okay.
Got the number. I'll call first and see if a visit makes sense. God knows I have to be careful with those last drops of gas left in the bike.
All right, well, let's do it.
Thank you for calling the Azure Sky Motel, your oasis in Cassidy. How may I help you?
Hi there. This is Kathy Rain from Rain Investigations. I have some questions.
All right, then.
Rose,
So
right?
I hear that one of your tenants was murdered back in February. Rose Taylor.
No shit. Here I thought the boys in blue ransacked this whole place just for shits and giggles.
That happens more often than you'd think. Come on, man. Help a girl out.
Sorry for the attitude, but you know you're the umpteenth person to ask about that, right?
I get that, so how about we stick with the short version?
Fine. No, I don't know anything that isn't in the papers. No, you can't see the room. It's rented out. And even if you did go in there, there's nothing that the cops or cleaners haven't removed since friggin' February.
Understood. So what about the next of kin? She had a husband, right?
Yeah, he came by later to pick up the personal effects. I just met the guy for a few minutes.
We got a pretty princess dungeon. Get in there.
Did you catch his name?
I did, but I don't think he'd appreciate me giving out his name to some random lady on the phone. No offense.
I am a bit offended, actually. I'm not some random lady. I'm a licensed private investigator and a renowned one at that. Ever hear of the Whitmore affair?
That does sound familiar.
Well, that was me. Now, here's a friendly piece of advice. Choose the path of least resistance. I can be a much bigger pain in the ass than this Mr. Taylor, believe me.
All right, fine. It's Orson. Orson Taylor.
That wasn't so hard, was it? Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. That's all, thanks.
You're welcome. Have a great day now.
Have a great day now.
All right, found the husband's number. Here's hoping he's willing to talk to me.
Okay.
You've reached the Taylors. No one's home right now, but if you leave your details after the beep, I'll get back to you.
Hi, Mr. Taylor. This is Kathy Rain, private investigator. I was wondering if I could ask you some questions. You can reach me at 555-142-062. Thanks in advance. Bye. I think I followed up on what I can today for each of the different victims. Just one thing left to do. I noticed that the Gazette had the best coverage of the Soothsayer out of all the city papers. I think it's time to pay a dear old friend a visit.
Okay. We're gonna pet the kitty because we came home.
Plotting world domination as usual, Mildred?
Aww, long meow.
I better get those pets in then.
Cute. Okay. So, to the Gazette? Oh my gosh, my throat. Come on, you can't do this to me. Oh, Ophelia, you got the dancing Twitch dinosaur.
All right, here we are. Let's see how E is doing.
Eileen!
Hello, sunshine. How's my favorite Christian reporter?
Oh, what do you want, Kathy? I'm on a deadline here.
Oh, not friendly.
No small talk, huh? Can't I check in on a friend?
I wish, but we both know you only show up when you need something.
Ouch. Well, I did have something I wanted to talk to you about.
Let's hear it then.
What do you know about the Soothsayer?
The serial killer? But... Oh no, it's that stupid reward, isn't it?
You betcha. Money in the bank, baby.
Oh, brother. I'd say this is a terrible idea, Kathy, but it's not like you listen to me anyway.
Oh, come on, Eileen. Don't be like that.
No, don't even go there. Do you know how many times I had to go to HR to get people to stop quoting that stupid song?
Poor old Johnny Ray sounded sad upon the radio.
Art, make her stop.
Why? It's not a half bad performance.
You guys are like peas in a pod.
Ugh, well, now I lost my groove. I hope you're happy.
Ecstatic. Are you done wasting my time now?
Oh, lighten up, E. Aren't you thrilled about another big case? Teaming up, just like old times?
You can't just pretend nothing happened, Kathy. You fired me, remember?
Singing part is so weird to me. Agreed.
I'll unfire you?
Yeah, right. How do you even know you'll get that reward? This is Cassidy we're talking about.
I was thinking the same thing, but Lucas did his homework. He says this new mayor is the real deal.
That silly old man. He just wants one last case with his protege before retirement, even if it means you'll get yourselves serial killed.
And I'm all here for it.
Of course you are. It's not like self-preservation is anywhere on your hierarchy of needs.
Like, I get it, but it feels so off-brand for Kathy. Right? That's what I was thinking. Even if it was to bother Eileen.
Can't argue with that. So, speaking of my, needs, what do you know about Cassidy's most prolific murderer?
Not much. You should ask Art. He's much more up to date on that stuff, being our crime correspondent and all.
Okay. But should I ask her more questions, or...
Are you familiar with scrying mirrors?
I think so, yeah. You mean the black ones made out of obsidian, right?
Yep. What do you know about them?
Not a lot. I know they've been around since ancient times and that they're quite popular in New Age culture today. My friend Meadow is totally into that stuff. I bet she'd tuck your ear off about it.
Oh? Sounds great. Where can I find her?
Let me call her tonight and ask first, okay? She can be a bit peculiar about things.
Sure. Not a problem.
Okay. I mean, we technically could ask her all these things.
What do you know about Deborah Sinclair?
I like her books, but I don't care much for celebrity gossip. Awful thing that happened to her, though.
If there's anything I know about point-and-click adventure games, it's that you ask everyone everything that you can, interact with everything, and yes, click on everything that you can, yeah.
What do you know about the woman who was burned alive by the Soothsayer?
It felt pointless with the librarian because all I had left were like the local people's names. Maybe I could have asked him about them, but it felt like asking a librarian like, hey, do you know this random local person? Seems, I don't know.
Oh, nothing.
Seems silly.
I hope that horrible demon is caught soon.
What do you know about Benedict Townsend, the murdered deacon?
I don't know anything about that poor man.
Hey, you're a Christian. What does a deacon actually do?
It depends on the denomination, but a deacon belongs to a church and can practically do the same work as a priest, with the exception of sermons and rites.
Interesting, thanks. Are you familiar with the King of Kings Catholic Church?
I'm not. My family, we're Protestants.
Do you know anything about Eric Holloway, one of the Soothsayer victims?
Not really. I'm sure you know more about him than me.
What do you know about Rose Taylor, the first Soothsayer victim?
She worked as a nurse, I think. Other than that, I don't know much.
Have you heard of the Azure Sky Motel?
That's where one of those serial killings happened, right?
Yeah.
Thought it sounded familiar. I don't know anything else about it, though.
I don't want to ask her about that.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'll let you get back to your work.
I want to click on that
All
frog.
right, see you later.
Frog.
Cute little frog. E has had that thing as long as I've known her. Oh, it says someone needs to rehome their cat. I'd be open to that, but Mildred would lose her shit. My fluffball needs her Lebensraum. Hey, E, can I have one of your cards?
Sure, go ahead.
Nice.
Hey, do you mind if I borrow some tape, E?
Fine.
I just took the whole thing? Yep, I just took the whole thing.
Hey, Art, what's a synonym for disappointing?
Your outfit?
Oh,
Nah, I'm not that desperate to get hydrated.
Sorry, Summers, couldn't resist. Let me think. Disheartening, dismaying, dissatisfactory?
I think I'm looking for a stronger statement.
Then I'd go with depressing, distressing, or maybe demoralizing.
Demoralizing. Yes, perfect. Thanks, Art.
Anytime, kiddo.
Cacti rule.
Okay.
Of course, he's a green tea guy. Drinking coffee like a normal person would be much too sane. Art Hopkins, just the man I need to see.
That's so. This better be good.
What do you know about the Soothsayer?
What do I know? I made the Soothsayer. Before me, he was the Mirror Murderer, the Cassidy Ripper, or whatever derivative moniker those dullards at the Times or the Sun can muster up.
Oh, wow. So, what's your take on the guy?
I could see right through you, Rain. You're a bad apple, and it stinks all the way up here. Finally got a whiff of that reward, huh?
Can't blame a girl for trying. You've got your sights on that money too, huh?
Who doesn't? It's 200 fucking grand. I got
Dang.
a juicy new lead, too.
A new lead, huh? I doubt it's that impressive.
Nice try. I'm not gonna slip up. Word of advice, go back to your cheaters and insurance frauds and leave the Soothsayer to the big boys.
Okay.
What do you know about Deborah Sinclair? The most recent Soothsayer victim?
Don't waste your breath about the Soothsayer. I'm not gonna say squat.
Okay.
What do you know about scrying mirrors?
Oh, you're right. Because, like, I asked about one victim and all the other victims' names were grayed out.
Certainly more than you. I'd be surprised if you ever picked up a book.
Do you have an option to punch people? We do have a stun gun.
Are you familiar with the King of Kings Catholic Church?
Don't waste your breath about this.
Okay. So he's not going to talk to us about anything. We could try and stun him.
I'm sure he'd love that. An easy excuse for calling security on me.
We tried. Hi, Ecto. All right.
That's all I needed.
Won't let me tase him.
Okay, then.
The Cassidy Gazette, a mid-sized paper and one of the oldest still active in the city. Jeez, now that's a busy calendar.
What was that stupid shortcut to reset the layouts?
Control-Shift-L, I think.
Oh, what the heck? Now it's freaking...
Try hitting escape.
Oh. All right, then. Whew.
Okay. He's got a little bit of a temper. All right. Wait, should I have asked Eileen about the lead? See if she would tell me?
Hey, E, one more thing.
Yeah?
What do you know about this new lead that Art supposedly picked up on the Soothsayer?
It's him. He's the killer. It's everyone.
Nothing? I don't work with him directly.
Maybe you could find out?
No, Kathy. I respect
Dungeon.
Art. I'm not gonna mess with his story.
Okay, well, we tried. Okay, so now what?
I'll let you get back to your work.
All right, see you later.
She respects Art too much to do a little digging, huh? That guy's a grade A asshole. It shouldn't take much to bring that out front and center.
Wait.
I adore this new office. Finally out of that gloomy dungeon. AR?
Turn E against Art.
Say that again. I bitched to McAvoy about that moldy cave for a decade, but it wasn't until you rookies piled on that he got his thumb out of his ass.
I gotta get Art on Eileen's bad side.
You complain.
Shouldn't be too hard, that guy's a major douche.
Forgive me for having standards, Summers. You should be thanking me for saving you from lung cancer.
Let's see. City view?
Nice view of the city for
No.
vintage, huh? I can respect that.
How's that little...
I remember that. Something about a corrupt church. When the story broke, the place was shut down and some of the higher-ups went to jail.
She kind of died. I forgot her at home when I went to church.
My deepest condolences. Will there be a ceremony?
Very funny. It was a research project. You know I have to stay up to date on pop culture.
Sure. Keep telling.
Can I pick your brain for...
You're lucky I'm...
Okay, I think
I don't need to ask him about... What do you know about the...
Stop wasting my time.
Yeah, I figured you wouldn't talk to me about that.
All right, that's all I needed.
Okay, then.
I think if you hit spacebar, everything that you can interact with pops up. You're right. Okay. Let's see. I clicked on all of this stuff. I haven't clicked on this.
A few family photos. Eileen's got a big Christian family. Man, her brother is a hunk. Wouldn't mind getting some of that. Eileen's office phone? No need to mess with that. I have my own back at the office.
I think I clicked on everything else. City view, cacti, teacup. Oh, not the statue.
Some old sports trophy. Guess Art was into that in his oh-so-distant youth.
When you're talking to a character, you can also click on the things that you can inspect in the room. Oh, I didn't know that. I knew you could ask about the things that you have, like,
just a few more moments?
in your inventory, but I didn't know.
You're lucky I'm in a patient mood.
Wait. How do I... Oh, this question.
That's quite the story you've got framed up there on that wall.
Oh, that's right. I accidentally clicked that before when I was talking to the librarian.
Oh, yes. One of my proudest accomplishments.
Must have taken ages to break the story, right? What made you decide to investigate the church? Was the fallout? Some people were arrested, right?
What made you decide to investigate the church?
I had a family member in that parish. They told me some strange stories. Didn't take long for my reporter's instinct to kick in.
Oh, it must have been tough to ruin a loved one's place of worship.
Oh. Must have been tough to ruin a loved one's place of worship.
They're better off, believe me. I'd prefer to keep them out of organized religion altogether, but at least now they're no longer associated with goddamn criminals.
Okay.
What was the fallout? Some people were arrested, right?
Pickle Dungeon!
If by some you mean a lot, yeah. 12 people charged, 9 convicted, and about 100 years of prison time sentenced in total.
Damn. The state shut the church down too, right?
Oh, sure did.
That's a shame. They didn't have to punish the whole congregation just because the leadership was corrupt.
You don't know what the hell you're talking about. That place was rotten to the core.
Ahem.
It must have taken ages to break that story, right?
Half a year undercover. Now that's a proper investigation.
That's dedication. Lots of sermons to listen to, I take it?
Ugh, too many. I could feel my gray matter shrinking with every psalm, hymn, and other delusion thrown my way.
Huh.
Okay. Let's see.
That's a Michiru Pro, right? Early edition?
Correct. You got an eye for quality.
Force of habit. A PI with blurry pictures wouldn't last very long. I see that somebody's desperate to milk their achievements on the high school sports team.
You were always picked last, weren't you, Rain?
Jeez. Do you get any work done in between those vacations, Art?
It's called foreign reporting. It must be an alien concept to a small-time PI like you.
Sure thing, buddy. Keep spinning that yarn. So, you're one of those green tea guys, huh?
Of course, I take my health very seriously.
Well, good night, Dace Mom.
Oh, I couldn't tell. You're about 48, right? I can see that receding hairline of yours.
Ha ha, you ain't exactly the poster child for health yourself, Rain. I could smell last night's booze all the way from here.
I like your thorny little friends there on that windowsill.
The cactuses? Yeah, I can't seem to kill them off, no matter how hard I try.
That's cacti, Art. Are you sure you're a journalist?
Oh, fuck off.
I don't want to ask him about that.
Okay.
I don't want to ask. How do you think Eileen is doing here?
I don't gossip about coworkers. Take that shit somewhere else.
All right. Well,
How do you like working here?
Why? You looking for a job?
God, no. I could never work at a place like this. I have authority problems.
Don't we all? These days, management doesn't dare try to bother me. They know I'm the only reason this place is still afloat, so they let me write whatever the hell I want.
okay. Well,
All right, that's all I needed.
Okay then.
Oof. I don't think Art's Eileen's favorite person right now.
definitely not the killer. Now that we got Eileen annoyed, maybe she'll
Hey, one more thing.
Yeah?
tell us.
Man, I'm itching to know what Art's new lead on the Soothsayer is.
I bet.
Oh, you said
but
definitely the
I
killer.
wouldn't know anything about that. Not that he's been my favorite person lately.
I think he's an asshole, but not a killer.
You could still find out, right? Don't you want to ruffle that arrogant prick's feathers a bit?
Starburst time.
Oh, well,
Pretty please.
okay, fine. I'll try, but no promises.
You're the best.
Either that or I'm just a slow learner.
Alrighty, it's getting late. I'm gonna get out of your hair before Art rats me out and calls security.
Oh, he wouldn't do that. He's not as bad as you think, Kathy. You guys are actually quite alike.
Oh, God.
Oh God, you better take that back before you make me take up smoking again.
I have no doubt you'll be able to resist the temptation. Bye, Kathy.
Bye.
Okay. Mmm.
Rain Investigations.
Kathy, it's me, Eileen.
Hey E, what's up?
Oh, just burning the midnight oil. So I wanted to let you know that I found Art's new lead on the Soothsayer.
Amazing, do tell.
Well, you know those people who were killed? Apparently, they were all under the influence of some sort of illegal drug.
Ooh.
Interesting. What type of drug?
I'm not sure. But this toxicology report here says that the street name is Pyre.
Never heard of that one. I better go ask Lionel.
Lionel? Who is that?
My a friend of mine, that's all.
My drug dealer. Exclamation point join.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I'd say you should take better care of yourself, Kathy, but you've heard it all before.
Pretty much, but seriously, thanks, E. I owe you one.
Don't worry about it. Oh, and by the way, you know Meadow, that friend I was telling you about?
Yeah, what about her?
She said you can come see her tomorrow. She's got an RV over on the west side, Sycamore Lane 21.
Perfect. I'll go talk to her in the morning.
Okie dokie. I gotta get back to work now, but I guess I'll see you around?
You bet. Catch you later, E.
Bye, Kathy.
Okay. At least they sound
Higher,
like they're
huh?
on better terms
I better
now.
call the cop shop and ask Josh about that.
You've reached Detective Everett, Narcotics. I'm not available right now. Please leave a message after the beep.
Hey, Josh, this is Kathy Rain. Been a while, huh? Let's meet and catch up. I have something I want to run by you. Hit me up at my work number, will ya? Okay, bye. All right, I guess that's that. Let's see if Lionel is at his usual spot.
But first, Mildred.
I've already caught myself a little serial killer, haven't I? Your secret's safe with me.
Couldn't keep your hands off your favorite fluff ball. That was an achievement, apparently. Okay. We're going downtown. Look at this guy.
Rockports and other cheap brands. I'm certainly not going to waste my precious relapse on shitty smokes like that. I better hope I don't get desperate enough for one of these predatory loans. Looks like a seedy place. Pawn shops like this tend to be involved in all kinds of shady business. You know, you're really downtown when the amount of neon approaches seizure-inducing levels. Fast cash, huh? Guess I could use some of that.
Okay, I don't think I want to go in. I want to talk to Lionel, right?
It's closed. Not that I have much left to pawn. Hey, what's up, Lionel?
Hey, girlfriend. You here for the white stuff?
Not this time, buddy.
Oh, you broke?
Well, I am, but that's not...
You just broke. Well, I ain't giving you a tab. I'd never see my money back. No offense.
I don't want a fucking Coke tab, Lionel. I just had some questions.
Oh, what's with the hostility, girl? There's no reason to be unsavory among friends.
Sorry, rough day. Can I run something by you?
Go on, then. I suppose I got some time to spare.
Do you know Pyre?
Oh, yeah. Strong trip, they say. I'd love to get my hands on some of that.
Hard to come by, I take it?
No doubt.
The
I
killer.
never got so much as a whiff of the stuff.
Oh, really? Who's slinging?
No one I know. Sketchy motherfuckers, though, whoever they are.
How so?
Well, for one, you won't find them on the corner like us, regular hard-working candy men.
Yeah, you're all salt of the earth.
Well,
Oops.
they pretty much don't.
I'm not following.
Well, join the club, 'cause it's some real candid camera shit. Every now and then, one of them dope fiends starts yapping on about some creepy fucker giving them Pyre, and it's always on the house. Trying to run an honest pusher out of business.
Some kind of obtuse marketing tactic?
If it is, those people sure as hell ain't capitalizing on it.
Some half-assed DEA honeypot operation, then?
No way. The feds don't give a fuck about Cassidy, trust me.
Who are these fiends, then? Got any names?
Nah, I don't ask for names. And the junkie clientele all look the same to me, no offense.
Haha. So you don't know anyone who could get Pyre? Some drug dealer you are.
No, I didn't say that. There is this one person who just might be able to pull it off.
Yeah?
Ooh.
A friend of the boss. Ultra-wealthy connoisseur. Tries everything once, apparently. Rich. I mean old money rich. Deeply connected.
Quite the sales pitch. Are you gonna give me a name or just leave a girl hanging in suspense?
Now. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Surely a gumshoe such as yourself is well aware that information is a commodity.
I told you, I'm fucking broke, Lionel.
And I ain't deaf. We're talking a simple exchange. If you find out who's slinging Pyre,
Master Tater!
send the Love Lion a word.
It's a potato dungeon. Perfect.
Deal. Loaded guy's name, please.
It ain't a guy, strictly speaking. It's one of those, transsexual types. Prefers to go by the name Hannah Verdue.
Verdue? That rings a bell. Some French family, right? Mine owners?
You tell me. Sounds about right.
Okay. Ooh, you won! Let's see.
Are you familiar with the Azure Sky Motel?
Nah, haven't heard of the place.
Are you familiar with the King of Kings Catholic Church?
You ain't serious, right? Do you remember who you talking to?
Oh, forget it then. What's your take on the Soothsayer?
That creepy motherfucker got the whole town on edge, don't he? Funny how City Hall didn't give a damn until one of those celebrity types got killed. Embarrassing look for the city, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I suppose it was just a matter of time until Cassidy got our own Ted Bundy. Place like this, with no hope, breeding ground for psychos.
Okay.
What do you know about Deborah Sinclair, the latest Soothsayer victim?
Look, I don't know nothing about those murders, victims, whatever. Don't bring that shit up with me.
Okay.
What do you know about scrying mirrors?
Nothing. What is that? Some new age shit?
Oh, never mind.
Okay. Well, I think we clicked on everything and we pretty much asked him. Oop, we asked him everything, I think.
That's it. Later, Lionel.
Until next time, hot stuff.
Talk to Lionel is still...
If anyone, Lionel should have some...
But we talked to Lionel. Dang it. Okay.
One more thing.
Yeah?
So, what do you know about Hannah Verdue?
Not much, but I know she owns and runs a place on the south side. The Club of Hearts.
Catchy name. Casino?
Poetry club, if you can believe that.
I can. Sure sounds like an appropriate waste of money for a Verdue.
Yeah, I suppose those motherfuckers ran out of rooms to put golden bathtubs in.
Either that or mammoth wool rug suddenly went out of style. So that poetry club, do you know where it is?
South side, that's all I know. Never patronized myself.
Okay.
That's it. Later, Lionel.
Until next time, hot stuff.
Look at the club.
better
Look
look up that
up the
poetry club in
club
the
at
phone
the
book.
office. Okay. To to the home. A spaghetti dungeon. Pasta. Wait. Phone book.
All right, found an address. They're not open until Friday night, though. Guess I'll have to wait a couple of days. Ooh, I'm beat. You want to hit the sack, girl? Come on, then. So, there's something I need to tell you.
Yeah, I know, kid. Time to move on, huh?
Yeah. Is it that obvious?
I wouldn't be much of a PI if I couldn't see the writing on the wall for this one. It was nice having you around, though, kid. You spruced up the place, I gotta say.
Well, don't get lazy without me. I'm sure you still have a couple of years of detective work left in you.
Oh, that's all I need. Just a couple of more cases. Then I'm riding off into the sunset.
What's going on, Lucas?
What do you mean? Something wrong with my vacation outfit? I've always been a sun-kissed kind of guy.
Do we just dream about him getting murdered? Okay, day 2.
Ooh, okay, Kathy. Enough loitering. Time to get back out there. You've got places to be. Nah, I'll let her sleep.
I wonder if I should call it there for day 2. I'm not sure how many days there are, but it's almost midnight for me. And I don't think we could do another day. Oh, and I'm dropping frames. I feel like that was the answer right there. I look over at OBS just in time to see it go into the red. Oh boy. It was only 30, so it wasn't a lot, but that's how it starts, right? Let's save. Select a name. Cappy. Save. Does it tell me how far I've been? No. Dang. Okay, well, we saved it, and it's auto-saving. Yeah, I think I will call it there.